Hello there.
Lorna's here. Hi, Lorna.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Oh, it's a beautiful day.
That's great. Start recording. Welcome to the virtual luncheon meeting of the Rotary Club of Norfolk. And today we are virtual again, and I think working out the technology, it's always interesting to do this. We have some great speakers in line today, so I'm looking forward to that. Somebody I don't think all of you have heard about. So, and we've been looking forward to trying to find somebody from the Hispanic business community. So we are grateful that they agreed to come on to join us in this meeting. With that said, can I ask Pam to start us off? And Pam, are you there?
I am. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. I sent you an email, but it was kind of late, about why the song that you've asked me to sing today is so apropos for Cinco de Mayo. And anytime that those in Mexico and around the world are feeling happy and want to celebrate, or are feeling downtrodden, it was actually, it's been around for a long, long time. It's a love song, Cielito Lindo. And it's, you know, it's about singing and feeling happy, even if your soccer team is losing or there's a coronavirus on the horizon. We can all just sing and think about love and joy. So if you happen to know it, please do sing along, okay?
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. What a great start, right? All right. With that in mind, can I ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test, is it the truth? Is it fair to all
concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
And will it be beneficial to
all concerned?
And will it be fun?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Our invocation today, again, everybody turn off your mic, but Jim Sell, are you there? Whoops. Jim is supposed to be doing our invocation today. I wonder if he had a little trouble. Would somebody else like to step in and do that?
I'll be glad to.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Good Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity to gather, even if not in our conventional way, but gather electronically to see friends and to know that we're all surviving in this time of crisis and difficulty. Please bless our families, bless the essential workers, the doctors and nurses and grocery store workers that are making our lives continue to move on, and help us to continue to do your good work. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Amen.
Our visitation report, Joey, you're going to do that again for us today?
I sure am. Thank you, President Lorna. It's just so wonderful to report that with so much going on and our continued stay-at-home orders, that everyone seems to be doing okay. We have no reports of anyone, under the weather or needing, medical attention. And so we're very grateful for that. And of course, if you hear of anyone who does, please let me or Lorna know. I guess the one missing in action member has been Bill Jonak, and I went over to his house yesterday and had a nice conversation with his daughter, Laura, and he's doing fine. They're going out for walks every day, and he sits out in his front porch with his coffee and newspaper in the morning. So I told her I'd look forward to joining him for a conversation soon. And I also just wanted to mention, although you may have seen it in the paper last week, that Catherine Bashara died. And she was the wife of Charles Bashara, the attorney who allows Rotary to use office space in their building over on Butte Street. And of course, his son Charles continues that tradition, and she died on April the 28th. Charles himself died a few years back. That's all I have, Lorna.
Okay, thanks, Joey. I appreciate that. Yes, I know that we have Ashley online. Is there anybody else that's a guest today other than our speakers? No? Okay, well, that's fine too. Our scribe today is Julie Kiesling, and so speak up and hopefully she can hear you. Best thing though is, Julie, is that I can send the recording over to you so you can have you can listen and correct all the things you might not have heard. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say that what we usually do on the first meeting of each month is we have a birthday celebration. We have birthday cake, and this morning we had Brian McGuire and we had Chick Robinson were out in their cars delivering cupcakes. And they delivered the cupcakes to our birthday people of the month. Some of these people are online, so and some of you aren't. But Rachel Bellis has a birthday this month, and I will be sending out a picture of her and Chick as he delivered the cupcake. Lori Harrison, she has a birthday this month on May 10th. Bill Moore, I see you're on. Happy birthday, Bill Moore. We're so grateful that you're one of our members. You've done a lot of good work for us this year.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Happy birthday. Your birthday is not till the 23rd though, right?
Correct. I'm still young.
Okay, you're looking that way. Jack Frost will be turning 88 at the end of the month, and Jack isn't online, but he was so happy to get a cupcake. He is just very pleased about the whole thing. Bill McGinnis, I don't know whether you're on, but you have a birthday at the end of May. Anthony Mia. Steve Jones has a birthday. I don't know whether Steve got online today. And Gary Boswick. Gary's working and can't attend the meeting, but I have pictures of Gary getting his cupcake this morning. The other anniversaries that I would say today is that we have some people that are celebrating significant years, but George Nottingham and Susan have 31 years of marriage. Chick and Kathy Robinson have 46 years. Linwood Beckner and Francis, 42 years. Dean Rogers and Susan, 54 years. Diana Starkey and Michael, 27. Gus and Janet, 43 years coming up. Shep Miller and Gigi, 36. Tom Ambler, you're going to have an anniversary with your lovely wife, Martha, 38 years, and Joan New and Barbara, 50 years at the end of May. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you. Way to go, Joe. In terms of Rotary anniversaries, Linwood Beckner has been a Rotarian for 34 years. Rick Karate has 31 years in. Bill Gaw, Dr. Gaw, has 36 years as a Rotarian. Bob Latimer is online, and Bob has 34 years as a Rotarian. Chuck Spence, 29. Bruce Wilcox, 10 years. Ray Moses, we sent him a cupcake today because we missed him last month. He has 33 years as a Rotarian. Bill Clendenin has 13 years. Jim Kitts, 6 years. And Winston, I think I see you on there. You have 18 years as a Rotarian. Amazing. Incredible. Thank you very much for all you've done over all those years. Can we get Pam to sing Happy Birthday?
I never have to be asked more than once. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarian. Happy birthday to
you. Way to go. Happy birthday, everyone. Okay, with that in place, Jim Kitts, can you talk about a couple of things? What's happening at the food bank and how are we doing?
The last report I had was that we have donated between members' contributions and matching just under $7,000 has been sent over to them. That campaign continues. Our great IT people have made it relatively easy to click on the heart and make a contribution that the club will match. So we're appreciative for that. The other thing that's going on at the food bank is several members had asked for an actual activity to physically do something to help. So this Thursday morning between 9 and 10, the Rotary Club will be providing labor for the quality assistance mission that the food bank does. I will tell you, so far I think we have 7 slots. 4 people have signed up, and I will tell you that last week my wife Claire and I actually went and volunteered for one of their quality assistance sessions, and it was done very professionally, very safely. You're required to bring your own mask. They're going to take your temperature as you go in. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, and people are, people are socially distant in the tasks that are given to us. So I would encourage those who have some time and inclination that they can still go to our Rotary site, and it's a direct link now. It'll take you right into the food bank for Thursday morning between 9 and 12. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Jim. That's really good. It's sort of something that not everyone can do, but if you are able and can, give Jim a call if you have any questions about that. In terms of Happy Bucks, is Steve Jones CPA online? He may be at work. I saw his wife was on the front page of the paper the other day, so I was gonna try and get some money from him. Now, I can't see with every one of you online if you're wearing your pin. So if you're not wearing your pin, oh, way to go, Jim Kitts, that's great. You can always, send me an email and we'll add you to the list of people who need to be paying a fine when we finally get together. So with that in mind, and I'm going to give you all a chance to sort of add comments at the end, but I want to make sure that we have time for our speakers. So I'm going to, first of all, introduce our speakers for the day. So I'll ask you all to mute your mics and make sure that they're turned off. It's my pleasure to introduce our two speakers today. We were looking for somebody from the Hispanic business community, and I think we have two great speakers. Not only are they business people in this community, but like Rotarians, they have a tremendous service mentality. When you look at their bios or you look at what they've done, you will recognize that these are service-minded people. So, you know, in the back of my mind, I sort of have the idea that these are potential Rotarians. Julian and Johnny, our motto in Rotary is service above self, and I think it's very fitting that you come and visit us. Julian Baena is the Vice President and co-founder of Legacy Business Advisors Mid-Atlantic, through which he offers strategic assistance to individuals and specializes in being a valuable resource to business owners. Julian is a retired United States Marine whose services included time in Middle East, Central America, the Caribbean, and Mexico. He received a master's degree in business administration from St. Leo University after serving in the United States Marine Corps. He dedicates his life to living a life of service and is regarded as a business leader throughout the community. He's the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Coastal Virginia. He serves on the board of Junior Achievement, Greater Hampton Roads, and he is an organizer of 1 Million Cups, Virginia Beach, and serves as an ambassador for Marine Raider Foundation. He resides in Norfolk. Our second speaker is Dr. Johnny Garcia. Dr. Garcia is founder and CEO of CIMIS and also Healthcare Simulations. He has become an innovative leader in the modeling and simulation, test and evaluation, autonomous vehicle, software development, and cybersecurity industries. His pioneering work in medical training simulations, enterprise architecture, and unmanned systems has led to numerous awards in the region and community. He served 5 years in the U.S. military and as an enlisted operations specialist for 15 years before founding CIMIS. He serves as area youth through his robust intern programs for high school, college, and permeates his many service activities, numerous boards, STEM program development, and volunteering service to local, state, and international organizations. He is on the board of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and of Coastal Virginia and the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. He's a known leader. He has degrees. He has a doctoral degree from ODU and BA and Bachelor of Science from St. Leo College and a Master of Science and an MBA from Florida Institute of Technology. And on top of that, he's the father of twin girls, Faith and Hope, and is married to a wonderful wife, Lorena. I've asked them to speak about the Hispanic community and the Chamber of Commerce, and finally to shed some light on Cinco de Mayo and its significance today. So I'm going to turn the mic over to who wants to take it. I'll let both Julian and Johnny decide at this point.
Johnny's going to do a majority of the talking. Thank you so much.
Okay, way you go.
I can't hear.
Nor I.
It sounds like someone's talking in the background, but we can't hear anything.
Okay, it looks like Johnny's having a little bit of trouble with the with his mic, so I'll step in. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to share with you a little bit about the chamber, and thank you so much for such a great introduction. I mean, that was wonderful. And then I'll let Johnny talk a little bit once he's able to get back on the phone. But I'll share with you guys about the chamber. So the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for Coastal Virginia was established in 2003 by 4 lovely Hispanic businesswomen that really wanted to do more for the community, help other young entrepreneurs and business people kind of evolve on the business side of the house. So we've been around for 17 years, and with that, I mean, we've established a strong foundation throughout the community. Our emphasis is to drive commerce to the community, help the Hispanic business owners that are trying to grow their businesses get all of the resources that are available to them, help them use those tools and resources to grow their businesses so that they can expand outside of their client segment base. And vice versa, we want to bring all of the other demographics and business owners and kind of provide them a point to say, hey, here's the Hispanic community. This is kind of how we gather, how we do business. Join us so that you can grow your customer base as well, because the Hispanic community is pretty strong. In Hampton Roads, the population last census, which we're doing one this year, but the last census was about 1.3 million people, give or take. I'm sure over the past decade it's grown some. And at that point in time, the Hispanic community made up 8% of the total population. I like to deal with nice, easy round numbers, so let's round that up to 10. That's at least 120,000 Hispanics that are living, working, and growing up here in Hampton Roads. Across the country, the Hispanic community spends $13 trillion on things. So there's a big market share there of money that's being spent. So we want to make sure that our entrepreneurs and our business owners have all of the necessary resources and all of the tools that they needed in order to grow their business. Throughout the year, we put on 22 networking events. That's 2 every month. And the reason we do that is because we all know that to cross the tunnel is like a day trip. You got to pack a bag and make sure that, you know, we're going to be there for a while. So we do one networking event on the South Side, which encompasses Norfolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, all the way down to people from Elizabeth City, and the Eastern Shore. And then we do one on the peninsula, and we pretty much go as far west as Williamsburg and incorporate all of those business owners. So we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity and the ability to connect. With that, we also provide monthly, but at a minimum every other month, educational classes and seminars to our Hispanic business owners. And typically we do it in Spanish and English, but we really want to make sure that everybody has access to the information. We also help out with the Latin Festival down at the oceanfront. That draws in about 40,000 Hispanics into the oceanfront area. And then we also help out with the Town Point Norfolk Festival. And lastly, we have our own little grassroots festival in September, right around that time frame, to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. over the past couple of years, we've grown quite a bit, and we've had some pretty notable wins, I would say. One of them was that we were able to partner up with the Norfolk Tides, where we sponsor 5 games, and it's a promotional thing that minor league baseball is doing. So we were able to change the Norfolk Tides to an all Spanish name. So they are the farm team for the Orioles. So the baby birds. So we changed their name to Spanish, Los Pajaritos. They got a new uniform, and those days that we sponsor, we are able to do some folk type of dancing and let a local Hispanic singer kind of sing the national anthem. And that's just some of the stuff that we've done. I see that Johnny is on now. So I'm going to let Johnny take over and talk a little bit about what he was going to talk about.
Johnny, are you able to get on there?
He's muted, it says here.
Yeah, it looks like your mic.
Okay, somebody just unmuted.
How
I
there
was
you
muted.
Okay.
Yeah, so
now.
I just want to inform y'all that I also own a cybersecurity company, and Zoom isn't secure. So I'm at my office, and my network folks locked it down, and I forgot, so I needed to call in from my phone. So sorry about that. So good afternoon. My name is Johnny Garcia. Thank you for the introduction, Lorna. Good to see you virtually. I think what Julian mentioned was a lot of the things that we're doing in the Hispanic community tied to the Hampton Roads Chamber of Coastal Virginia. But also I'm part of the overall Hampton Roads Chamber. I'm the vice president and chair for small businesses. And why is that important for you to know? Especially in the current times now, there's a number of issues going on with Latino-owned, Spanish-speaking businesses and all of this wonderful aid that's going around the country. And a lot of these businesses aren't aware or don't understand how to apply for this. And most of these businesses are service providers that a lot of us currently use. And a lot of them are going to suffer because of this current virus. I didn't want to talk about that, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. I think what's important for us to understand here in the region, and I think Julian mentioned there's 120,000 Hispanics in the region. And we're only going to grow over the next 5 years. What's estimated is that we're going to be the largest in the state of Virginia by 2040. But not only that, I think it's important for us to understand that our community needs to understand and speak English. We need to educate these non-English speaking Hispanics, and they're Americans, to start speaking English. And that's extremely important for us. But also, what are we doing as it relates to growing our reach as far as the chamber is concerned? There's a lot of ways for us to be able to do that, and I think it's important for the Rotarians to know services is our number one opportunity for us to be able to do that in the Hispanic community. So I'm a part of a number of organizations in and around the area that look to support small businesses. The majority of the small businesses that are service providers are suffering right now, but a lot of them are Hispanic. And a lot of these Hispanic companies are trying to figure out how they can make it through this pandemic, along with all the rest of us. So I own a number of different companies in the area. From a defense company, I'm also involved in the medical cannabis. I'm sure a lot of you are using CBD, and CBD is a big business, and it's growing. Myself and others in the region, we're expanding that, but also we're trying to help farmers. So there's a number of farmers in the region that scrap doing tobacco, cotton, soy to do CBD. Unfortunately, a lot of those farmers are failing because it's a tough market. Not only that, there isn't the processing equipment required to be able to extract the weed, the CBD from that type of a crop. So we're trying to help with that and a number of other things. So today is Cinco de Mayo, and I think Lorna wanted me to talk a little bit about the importance of Cinco de Mayo. And, you know, people call it Drinko Mayo, or, you know, it's a time to celebrate and drink some Mexican beer, have some Mexican food. And my heritage is I'm Mexican American, second generation Mexican American. My mother's family was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, and my father is Cherokee Indian. So that makes me Native American, Mexican, and Virginian. I've been in Virginia for almost 30 years. The Navy brought me here a long time ago. I met my wife, who's a Virginian, and I planted roots here, and I love Virginia. And oh, by the way, Virginia is one of the best states to be in business. So let's talk a little bit about Cinco de Mayo. So Cinco de Mayo is one specific battle that happened in Puebla, Mexico, on the 5th of May in 1862. It wasn't a big deal. It was not a big event, especially in Mexico times. But what happened was it was the first time that the Mexicans actually stood up to the French. And they defeated them in a small battle in Puebla. And ever since then, it's not Independence Day for the Mexicans. Independence Day actually is September 16th, 1812. But what it was an opportunity for Mexicans to show that they could defend and defeat the French. And the battle actually went on for quite some time. But May the 5th was the day that the actual battle was won. There was about 100 Mexicans that died. There was about 6,000 French soldiers and seamen that were part of that battle. But the Mexicans were able to get there. So basically, the Mexican country had a lot of debt. A lot of the debt was between three countries: Spain, England, and France. The Spanish and the English forgave the debt, and the French didn't. And basically, the French wanted to take over the land and colonize it as French land, and the Mexicans pushed back. And the Battle of Cinco de Mayo, about 50, 60 years ago, a number of different Hispanics used it as a way to celebrate Hispanic heritage, especially Mexican heritage. And over the years, it's grown into a party day. And the party day is more in celebrating the Mexican traditions, the Mexican heritage, Mexican food, along with the great Mexican beer. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to confuse it with the Mexicans' independence, which was about 50 years earlier in 1812. And I think that's important for us to understand because over the next 30 to 40 years, the Hispanic community will be the largest minority in the U.S. Currently, right now, we are roughly 17% of the population in America. There's 300 million, and 51 million of those are Hispanic. Now, that's based on the 2010 census. In 2020, we expect that to get up to about 25% of the population. And what's most unfortunate about that is our representation in state government and local and U.S. government is very low. Roughly about 5% of all Congress and senators are non-Hispanic, when we have about 20% of the population. And oh, did you know there's never been a Hispanic U.S. Congress or U.S. Senator in Virginia? And just recently, our first ever Virginia Hispanic was voted into office in Congress, and it was a female. So we're very underrepresented in government. We're also very underrepresented in the region, and we want to be able to make that change. And what Julian and I are doing is trying to grow that representation in the region on boards, corporate boards, as well as a number of different organizations that have power throughout the region. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Lorna. If there are any questions, please let me know. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'll open that for questions. We have time for questions. Anybody out there?
Yeah, how come they're not Rotarians?
We are now going to invite them down. It seems like your mission, Johnny. It's something when you hear people who do so much service, that we think that they fit with us and there are things that we can do for you. So we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, so not that people haven't recruited me to be a Rotarian, they have. I believe a lot of what we're doing can help each other, but we can only do so much, right?
Yep, that's right. Okay, other questions?
I have a question. Johnny has, I've been to other programs where you talk about internship programs. Can you tell us what you're doing to help bring along the next generation of workers?
Yes, yes. So great question. So I think what's important for us to understand is how are we preparing our youth? And a lot of what we've done previously in the past is go into high school, college. That's too late. We need to start in elementary school and middle school, especially in our underserved areas. I'm a big fan of Star-Based Victory. Anybody know Star-Based Victory? Raise your hands. You know, Star-Based Victory is such a phenomenal place, and it's in Portsmouth, but it's teaching kids in elementary school, the importance of STEM. And why is that important for them to know in middle school? In elementary school. They need to better understand the tools they're going to need to get into college. And these tools are unfortunately not preparing these kids for college life. And usually, and most of us probably have 4-year degrees. And that was the norm back in the 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s. But the norm now is 6-year degrees, bachelor's degrees. And why is that? And that is because these kids aren't prepared when they get to college. They're not doing the right math. They're not doing the right science in high school when they get into college. So they're doing 1 to 2 years of prerequisites to get into the right types of programs to get college degrees. And why is that important from an internship perspective? Because these kids got to understand what they potentially could do with that degree, from gaming, from cybersecurity, from other types of things like autonomous vehicles. And, you know, the majority of all those require college degrees. But also there are parts of that that don't require college degrees. And a lot of what we hear is how are we preparing our youth for college? Well, I think we need to also prepare our youth for blue collar type jobs, which we have a lot of. And most of the jobs that are going to happen in the future aren't white collar. Most of them are going to be blue collar. And we got to be able to prepare those kids for those. And that's what the internship programs that we do are important. And we start with the high school and into college. And a number of my employees that were interns, they started there, and we've expanded that. And we bring in kids from all over the country to apply for these, compete for these internships. That's important to the region, but that's also important to my company and how we expand, kind of a deal. Hopefully that answered it, Ms. Hartman.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Any other questions?
Can I make? This is Brahanu. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I just thought I would compliment what you just said about, as you can tell from my accent, I'm a first generation from Ethiopia. I tell Ethiopians, particularly in the Washington DC, we have lots of them, to learn the language. You didn't come to America because America is not Ethiopia. Came here because what America provides, and your idea of non-English speaking Hispanic to learn English, because the language can divide but can also unite. So speaking the same language, it is not to say we shouldn't speak our native language, but having a common language is a good thing. I just thought I would compliment you on that. It's really a wonderful idea.
Yes, sir. Well, I can expand a little bit on that, especially in business. So the international language for business is money. That's the international language for business, period. It doesn't matter anywhere you go. But I think the important aspect of what we do in business is the ability to communicate in any business. And we're in America, we need to speak Spanish. We need to speak English. And you're right. I think the division between our communities is our language. And one of the important aspects of what we want to do in the chamber is ensure that our business owners are communicating to their customers in English. And of course, typically we buy from our own, and that leaves, almost 250 million non-Spanish speaking Americans that we're not selling to. I want to be able to sell to all 300 million Americans, and they all speak English. So thank you for that. Anybody else?
Johnny, this is Lorna. Can you just talk about, it was ModSim, your first, or Silas, first company?
Yeah, so I'm actually a serial entrepreneur. My first company was beauty salons. See my haircut? I mean, I got a good haircut. Owned beauty salons, owned restaurants, antique refinishing. I actually still own the furniture restoration company. And I worked for a small company called General Dynamics for about 15 years. They're not a small, they're a pretty large company. And then I figured I could do it on my own, and I did. Last year, Simis was Hampton Roads Small Business of the Year. And that I'm very proud of that. There's about 15,000 small businesses in Hampton Roads, and we were the best. And that's a huge honor. We've been an Inc. 5000 company for the last 6 years and constantly growing. And I've established a number of really great connections to Richmond, to Northern Virginia, and to other parts of the region, other parts of the state that influence what we do here in Hampton Roads. So my businesses are all in Portsmouth. I'm all about helping and bringing up Portsmouth because it's a city that's been battered for years and years and years. But the future in Portsmouth is extremely bright because of our businesses.
Very nice. You have extreme talent, Mr. Garcia. I've admired you for a long time. So mostly because of the research commonalities that we might have. Are there any other questions? If not, I would like to thank you, both you and Julian, for coming online with us today. And we will keep you in mind so that maybe you can come and visit us in person once we, see how the world unfolds. Stay healthy, stay well, both of you, and thank you again for everything you do.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us on. We greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Julian. That's really, we really appreciate it. Anyway, with that, I would remind everybody that next week we will have another virtual meeting. I will be, this meeting was recorded, so if you want to watch yourself and see how you look on camera or something, we'll do that. I've been trying to take some screenshots of, you know, everybody at one time, so it's sort of fun to do. If you have any questions or ideas or things you want us to do in terms of holding the club together over the next while, we have no idea, you know, as you know, about when we will come together. I think we're coming to a new world. How can, you know, 70 or 80 Rotarians come back to the scope? It'll take us a while to work out the details. In the meantime, you know, we'll continue to do this, but if you have any needs or you know of other Rotarians that need something or we can help them, you know what we're all about. We're all about service and we're all about helping each other. So, you know, make sure that you reach out to us. Joey is trying to keep track and she keeps an inventory on all of you. We, you know, have a little ticker tape that's logging in every day, you know, on what your status is. So I would like to close by thanking Chick and also Brian for delivering those cupcakes today. Hopefully we'll get a picture of those cupcakes because the district governor wanted a picture of the cupcake, and last time when we delivered them, we forgot to take a picture of the cupcakes. So I do have some pictures of the delivery boys and some of the recipients, but I will look forward to seeing a picture of the cupcake. Does anyone have any final questions? Oh, Jim's waving at me. Go ahead, Jim.
Did everyone happen to notice that our district governor was written up in the most recent Rotary magazine?
Yes.
As one of the top 5 young district governors in the world.
Yeah.
It's a nice article.
That's awesome. I have something.
Yes, Sally.
I will put in a shout out for just on a whim. Ronna and I did the Rotary Trivia on Saturday night that the district put on.
Mm-hmm.
And it far exceeded our expectations. It was really fun. So I hope we get to do Rotary Trivia. The trivia host is available and willing, and it was really well done. And it wasn't Rotary Trivia; it was general trivia. So I throw that out there.
Is that something you could organize for us, Sal?
I could do it. I could organize it, but you all would have somebody'd have to come play with us. He broke us out into little Zoom chat rooms or breakout rooms. So we had teams. We played with some Rotarian from James City County and somebody else from somewhere around Richmond. I will say our team was the losing team, and even though we were the losing team, it was still fun. So yeah, I'll be happy to set it up. It would probably need to be, the host is actually the Interact advisor at a high school, so it would actually probably need to be like an evening thing. But hey, what else are we all doing? So I'm happy to do that.
Okay, well, let's do that. Yeah. I've asked Diana Starkey about next week. So tentatively, I'm hoping that we can arrange something that has to do with the Virginia Arts Festival. You know that they had to cancel a NATO parade and the tattoo. So we're trying to figure out if there's something we can do next week about that. So stay tuned and I'll let you know what the topic is. I'm sorry to not be able to tell you right offhand, but that's sort of, you know, something in mind. And we have a couple other ideas, but if you think of any other speakers that you think would work on this platform, you know, let me know. We will do that, and we'll hopefully have some trivia games. And with that, I'm going to, I don't know whether you can see me, but you know, I'm going to have a margarita, don my sombrero, and look for some Tuesday tacos.
Where are ours?
What?
Where are our margaritas?
I was going to send you a couple, Chuck, but you know, it's easier to send cupcakes than it is to send out a whole bunch of margaritas. But I'll have a drink for you. Hi,
Oh,
Chuck.
enjoy it.
Lorna,
Yes, yes.
I can share my famous margarita recipe with everybody as a Cinco de Mayo special.
Oh, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. And
It's
Chris,
very easy. Equal parts of fresh squeezed lime juice, Cointreau, and a good silver tequila. Doesn't have to be the greatest sipping, like the kind you'd sip. Just any good silver tequila, you know, Blanco, and just mix it up with ice really, really well, and then strain it, and you've got El Perfecto margarita.
wonderful. Everybody try it. Chris Bug, I see you on there. Does everybody see him? He's one of our new Rotarians. How are you? I think he's muted, but
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are
okay.
y'all? It's great to see everybody and great to be part of the fellowship here.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. We have you and Brian on. I'm not sure that we had Stephen Kirkland, but I saw that Stephen brought in some, well, there were some ships that came in yesterday, so I'm not sure he's on.
And I already called.
Did you? And? All right. With that, enjoy your day, and meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.